Hey Cougar fans, it's Alexis Shirelli with the Charleston Sports Network. Thanks for tuning in to this week's edition of the Cougar Weekly Roundup. In part 2, we had a chance to speak with men's golf and softball. Men's golf is headed to Bluffton, South Carolina to compete at the Colton River Collegiate this upcoming Monday and Tuesday. We had a chance to speak with Coach McIntyre to see how his team looks to capitalize at this tournament.
The field is a great field. Tennessee will be there. Michigan State will be there. It's a great golf course. It's at Colleton River that's going to host the 2015 U.S. Junior Championship, so it's a quality golf course. It's a unique place from the standpoint of it. We're going to play two different golf courses. We play the Nicholas Golf Course on Monday, and we play the Pete Dye Golf Course on Tuesday. So two different styles, two completely different golf courses, and that's where I think bringing Josh in the lineup is going to help us a little bit because he's such a good ball striker and he's had success at the high level that I don't think playing two different golf courses in 2 days is going to mess him up. But I know that Anthony Gabriel will play for us. I know that Zach Monroe and I know that John Jonas will play for us. We just got to keep getting better. You know, Anthony this will only be his third tournament in college, and he's been fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to him to continuing to grow and mature and get a little bit better. I think this is a golf course that suits him very well, and I expect him to have a good week. John and Monroe, kind of the same thing. I mean, they both haven't played good at the same time. You know, Zach's been very consistent for us, and John's been up and down. He should have won 2 tournaments in the fall, and he finished second twice. But in the spring, we've got to have both of those guys clicking every week for us to get where we need to go. So I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. You know, we've had a little break in between. March is not going to be the case for us, but you know, this is a big week for us from a standpoint of wins and losses because heading into the Shinkle Hootie and Vanderbilt, we're going to need as many wins as we have because those fields are super strong. So should be a good week, and then we'll see what happens going forward. You can see that in both programs that we're both making really good strides. You know, the women's program is probably a little bit ahead of us from the standpoint of them having a little bit more success and a little bit more consistency. But, you know, that's what happens when you get 5 players all in the same lineup, not changing your lineup, and everybody just kind of gets that chemistry. And I think the women are doing a fantastic job of that, as you can see in the spring. And, you know, we don't quite have the chemistry. We're not quite clicking on that front. And once we find the 5 guys with the best chemistry, we'll do exactly what they're doing.
We wish the team the best of luck as they travel to Bluffton, South Carolina. Softball will be home this weekend hosting the Holy City Showdown. The action starts at 1 p.m. this Friday and continues through Sunday. We had a chance to talk with Coach Califatis and a few of her players to see how they've been strategizing ahead of this weekend.
We're down a few players. We've had a lot of adversity as far as injuries and illnesses go, and you know, I'm going to be anxious to see once we're full go, once we've got everyone back and everyone's healthy, you know, how we'll play and what we'll look like. But, you know, as far as a competition standpoint, I think it was, you know, we had some ups and downs, and I think we left there playing our best games, even though they weren't wins. You know, we've been really keen on playing well at the end of the game, which you have to do at this level. And we've not done that consistently so far this season. And in those 2 games against Utah, we did that, and that's a sign of a good team. We can't be a championship team if we can't play well in the 5th, 6th, and 7th innings.
It was a great experience. You know, we have a bunch of girls from the West Coast, so a bunch of our families were able to come and watch us play in California. We played 6 really great teams, and, you know, we went 2-4, but we finished positively. We know we lost 2 games to Utah at the end there, but we played really tight games, a really great Pac-12 team. I think we took a lot of positives going into the weekend. I think we learned a lot about our team. I think our defense is only getting better. I think it's just going to be a matter of getting better at timely hitting, and our pitchers threw great. And, you know, although we went 2-4, there was a ton of positives on the weekend. Like I said, we have a bunch of families who live out in California and LA area, and Mackenzie Maple's mom threw us this big party at her aunt and uncle's house. There was a pool, we played volleyball, ping pong. We had a really great time. They had personal chefs for us that made us really awesome tamales and Mexican food. And then the next day we actually were able to go to Warner Brothers Studios, and we went on a VIP tour there and toured the entire campus of Warner Brothers. And we tried really hard to meet Ellen DeGeneres, and but we saw some really awesome movie sets and sound production studios, and it was just a really fun time. We had a great time.
Yeah, as a team we went 2-4, but I think there's a lot of things we can take away. I mean, as past times we've had bad defense, but this past weekend we've really picked it up on defense, and pitching was great. I think just one thing we need to take away is from this weekend is not leaving runners on and just have timely hitting. So I think going into this weekend, I think defense is solid, pitching will be solid, and I think we just really got to pick it up on the timely hitting.
We open up with Dartmouth, who was, I think, still the only team to beat Auburn, but they gave Auburn their first loss, if that's not true. So we know that we're going to have to be ready right off the get-go. And then some other really good teams, Jacksonville, Loyola, South Carolina State right up the road, and then Liberty, who we won't match up with. So it's a good mix of teams from a lot of different conferences, and I think that's such an advantage, obviously being able to host, but being in Charleston and being a place where people want to come and play is really, really important. We're hoping the weather will hold off, but we're really looking forward to some good competition.
Don't forget to come out to Patriots Point this upcoming weekend to cheer on your Cougars. That will do it for part 2 of this week's Cougar Weekly Roundup. Don't forget to tune in to part 3, where we have prepared a special one-on-one feature. For the Charleston Sports Network, I'm Alexis Shirelli.